friends, thanks for joining us today. My name is Kim Murdoch and you're watching ArtzHub Online. Today we're going to talk about a craft project that is super fun. I've never done this one before, but I learned about it online and I wanted to make it and see how it worked, and then I wanted to share it with you. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. So this is a maze, and this maze is made out of a box and construction paper. And so I made all kinds of obstacles for my little marble to go through. You could use a gumball or even a bean or dried bean or something, but you can use anything, a pom-pom, anything that will roll. And basically you drop it in and you just have some fun, and you wiggle the box around and you get your marble to go all around, and it's fun to challenge yourself. So I really thought this was cool, and I'm going to show you how to do it one step at a time. Before we get started, I just want to show you what the supplies are. And then I'm going to move over to the other section of my studio that lets you see straight down into what I'm doing, because this box, basically you're going to be looking down at the box as I'm working on it. That way you can see everything you need to do so you can make your own at home. So for these supplies, you're going to need some kind of box. Now we give our cat canned cat food, and we buy them and they come in these boxes. So we have lots of these little boxes that are perfect for this, but you don't have to have this if you don't. If this is not what you have, it's totally fine is what I'm trying to say. Here's another example. This one's bigger, but as you can see, it's the same concept. It's the same basic shape. This is from Trader Joe's. This was something they had in water. Water bottles were in here, I was trying to say. So if you want to find these at Trader Joe's, they're free. They're stacked up by the wall. You can just go in there if you're grocery shopping, or just grab one on your way out. That's what I did. I wanted to show you that you can get these boxes in a lot of places. You can also use a different kind of box. Like if you have a cereal box, you could, if you think about this, it's sort of the shape of a cereal box, right? You would just cut one side off of it and tape the ends closed. So there's a lot of ways that you can find useful things to do with these cool boxes. I just wanted to make sure you saw that. You're also going to need construction paper today. As you can see, if you've done these crafts with me before, you know I save all my scraps, and you can see how they're going to be useful in all my little obstacles that I'm going to make today. So that's a great way to use your scraps up as well. You're going to need some scissors and some glue today. You're also going to need some tape. Now, you might need a lot of clear tape, and it also helps if you're using a combination of glue and tape, so it's not so much tape. But I did use more tape than I thought I was going to need. So if you have a brand new roll of this, or 2 rolls, it's probably a good idea. Now, you may or may not use markers. I didn't. You can see I didn't have any Sharpie lines or any pencil lines or any marker in this, which is very rare for my projects. But it's really fun, and we're going to have a great time with this. So that's what you need. If you're ready to get started, I know I am. I'm going to do parts of it in regular time like I'm talking right now, so you can see exactly what to do. And I'm also going to do parts of it in time-lapse videos, so you can just kind of see the process without watching every single second of it. And then we'll come back at the end and finish up. So looking forward to it, and if you're ready, here we go. Before we get started, actually, I forgot. I want to mention what's up behind me here. So this is an example of a drawing lesson. This is about a hippopotamus. It's really fun. We draw animals, people, buildings, popular characters from movies and books. But this one's about a hippo today. So if you've done my drawing lessons before, you know that I teach children how to draw one step at a time. If you've done my drawing videos, then you know that it's just like the craft video. We talk about it one step at a time, and I show you how to draw. But I'm going to be doing something new very soon. I'm going to do live Zoom after-school art classes. And so we're going to start those in the fall. And so it'll be a drawing class where I'm talking to you, but then you'll be able to talk back at the same time to me, and we'll be able to all see each other. So I hope you're interested in that. It's going to be a lot of fun. There'll be all new art lessons, of course, and it's just going to be great to see you guys. So if you're interested in that, check out our website, www.artzhub.com. Let your parents know that you'd like to learn how to draw with me. So thanks for listening. I just wanted to mention that, and I just thought you guys would like to know. Now it's time to make our box maze. Okay, friends, so it is time to make our box maze, and we're going to talk about this one step at a time. There'll be parts that I do in time lapse so that it's fast and you can kind of just see how it goes, and there'll be parts that I do slowly, just one step at a time, so you can see exactly how it works. But I just want you to take a good look at this. So there's just a variety of obstacles in this box, and they're all made with paper. And so the marble is something that I have, but you can use whatever you have. You could use a gumball or a rubber ball, or even just a dry bean will work. Anything that will scoot along. So you basically need a starting point and you need an ending point. And so in between are all these little obstacles. And as you can see, this is just for fun. I'm going to show you how to make several of these items, but you can really just make this any way you want to. And so as you can see, it's really a lot of fun, and you can go round and round and round. All right, so we're going to start. I'm going to put this marble somewhere safe so it can't roll away. We're going to start with some of the pieces, and I'm going to show you how to make the pieces, and then I'm going to show you how to put it together with your box. I have another one of these cat food can boxes, so I'm going to use that because it's nice and small, and my space here is not really big. If you have a bigger box, though, you can use whatever size box you have. So I'll come back to this later. And so we're going to talk about making some of these pieces. So this first piece, I'm going to show you how to make that one right now. So it doesn't matter what color you choose. It's a good thing to practice ahead of time. I like to use my scraps, as I've said before. This is already kind of the right shape. So what I'm going to do first is I'm just going to try to square it off so that piece was a little extra. I'm going to save all of my scraps because I need them for another craft another time. I'm going to go ahead and cut this in half the long way, and I'll save this for another obstacle. So to make some of these things, you're just going to do a lot of folding. So you see how I just folded that in half like that? But then I'm going to fold it accordion style. This is a little bit like making those fans that you guys like to make at camp. Basically, you fold it accordion style. You see how that looks? But then you're going to have it lie flat. So you see how I did that? It creates this base, and that's where you will either put your glue or put your tape or both. And you can also trim those. So for example, I want to make sure that you know that you have lots of options. So I'm going to show you what I mean. So I'm going to do this little sort of swirly texture and pattern. And then I'm going to flatten that back out, and you can just see how cool that looks, okay? So this is one piece. I'm going to put it aside for later. I'm going to choose another color, and we're going to talk about another type of obstacle. So what we just made was similar to this green piece, but now it's a red one. And it's longer than it needs to be, but you can always trim it, so don't worry about that ahead of time. The next one is this piece. It kind of looks to me like a little bridge. It has that opening that a marble can go through or something. So to make that, you're going to start out with another piece of paper. You can tell this is a scrap. I'm going to fold it in half, just like this. And then I'm going to do that accordion style fold we talked about, where I'm going to fold it again, and it creates, as you can see, something very similar, but it is taller, quite a bit taller. So what I want to do to create an opening is I'm going to take my scissors, and I'm just going to take a moment and cut a shape out, save those for later. And now, as you can see, this little shape has an opening, so a marble could roll right through it. You can practice with a glue stick to make sure it's tall enough. You just want to make sure that your things that you're making are going to work with the object rolling. All right, so just like I trimmed these little things, you see how these are rectangle? You can change them up however you want to. I just want to show you the variety so you can think about creative ways to do this, because I just had the greatest time with this craft, and I hope you will too. I had never made one of these before, but it's a great challenge. It makes you really think through all these different things. So as you can see, now I've got two little obstacles, and now it's time to work on a third. So this one is one that is just really fun. As you can see, it's kind of like marble has to kind of go back and forth to get through here. So I'm going to do that with a blue piece of paper. So I'm going to start out with this. I'm going to trim it maybe a little smaller, save my scraps, and this is really fun. So what you're going to do is you're going to fold it accordion style, just like we did the other pieces, but this is a longer one. So do you see how I'm just kind of folding it back and forth until I have folded up all the paper. Okay, so this is what it looks like. Now, if you put that down just like that, it would be a pretty big jump for the marble. If you like that, you can use that, but what I was going to recommend is doing this. So check this out. So where these things are folded, it doesn't matter which direction they're folding in, but watch this. I'm going to press down and I'm going to create a little step like this. See how that looks? So here's the next one. I'm going to push down. And sometimes it takes a minute or two to get the hang of it. And don't worry, you don't have to do anything fast. You can always try with a new piece of paper. But see what I'm doing is I'm creating these little jumps that a marble can jump over. So I'm going to do that again. And I'm going to do it each time until I get to the end of my folded paper. And it really is pretty cool how this works. So just folding it. There we go. So there's a lot of things you can do. You could make a bridge with this if you want to. You see how that looks? That's kind of neat. You could have it be more like a tunnel if you like the way that looks. So your marble could roll under it if you like. But I really like the idea of this thing being sort of like a thing that your marble has to hop over. So what I'm going to do now is I am going to take a little bit of tape. As I said earlier, you're going to probably need quite a bit of tape. So this tape is going to help me keep these folds nice and tight. So I'm going to start putting some tape on the bottom. You see when I do that, it keeps this on this so it's nice and tight, meaning it's not going to unfold. So I'm going to fold it like this, put on my tape, and just keep on going. So that's just another obstacle. So let's look at this again. So that one is like this one. What about this? So what about when they are bending like this? Well, I'm glad you asked. Let's talk about that. So here's another piece. It's a nice orange piece. I'm going to start out just like I did with my red one. I'm going to fold it. Accordion style folding like this. See? But what I'm going to do to make it bend is I'm going to take my scissors and just cut just the bottom only. See how the cuts are only in the bottom? And then check it out. You can bend it. You can have a nice angle. And so again, that angle, you're going to either glue it down or tape it down and it'll hold it in place. So you can add it on to something like that or something like that. You can create all kinds of obstacles. Another one I'd like to show you how to make is this sort of a cube. It's kind of a tube and a cube at the same time. So I'm going to get a bigger piece of paper for this. I want to make sure we have plenty of paper. This one's really too big, so I'm going to go ahead and cut it so I have a scrap for later. And then I am going to cut it one more time. So I have sort of a big sheet of paper, but what I want to show you is you're going to fold this 4 times. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. And so when you fold it 3 times, you get 4 things like this. So for example, 1, 2, 3, 4. You can see what I mean? You have 1, 2, 3, 4. So when you have it like that, then you can create this sort of cube-shaped tube. And that's something, again, your marble can roll right through. So in order to make this work, what I'd like you to do is you're going to take your tape again. Before you tape it, if you see how this one is taking a turn, same thing as this red piece. All you have to do is cut it, but make sure you save one of the things. So what do I mean by that? So see how I cut through 2 there, and here I'm going to cut through 1. That means that one of these is left for it to bend with. All right, so I'm going to take my tape now. And this is a little bit tricky, but it's a fun challenge. I hope you will just have some fun with it. Do your best and just know you can always make another one. You can always try again. It's one of the really fun challenges of making something like this. It's a game. You can actually use it, and it's just sort of fun. So I really hope you enjoy it like I do. So what I'm doing is I'm just taping now my little tube/cube. It's hard to say cube tube, but that's what it is. It's a cube tube. And so I'm gonna put a little more tape on here, fold it over. So you see what I'm saying? I've got now something that bends, something my marble could go through, and it's a nice obstacle. So we've got several different things here to get started with, and then basically the rest of it is just repetitions on a theme, meaning you make more little obstacles and you think of ways and where your marble will go. Just think about where your marble is going to start and stop. So for mine, my marble starts here and it eventually ends up over here. You can do that anywhere you want to. So in just a moment, we're going to do a time lapse, and I'm going to basically put it together so you guys can see me doing it. But first, I want to talk about this box. So we're going to cover the box, and to cover the box, you need to basically cut out a piece of paper that will fit inside, and then the inside edges, and then the outside edges. You do not have to cover the very bottom of the outside of the box because it's always going to be facing down like this. If you want to, you can, but you certainly don't have to. All right, guys, I'm going to start the fast forward time-lapse video. Just remember, it's moving really fast, but you should be taking your time, and it should take you a good solid 30 minutes to do this activity. It's a really fun thing to do. Don't rush through it, and remember, you can always try again. If you get frustrated, just take your time. Watch the video again. You can always start and stop the video at any time if you need more time to finish a step. All right, guys, here we go. Wow, guys, as you can see, this project can go on and on. You can just have as much fun with it as possible. And I just want you to see there's lots of neat little things. So definitely, you know, we've got our angles here, we've got our little ridges, our obstacles. Just don't be afraid to just try things out. You can see here, I put these little things here that kind of stop the marble as it comes around the corner. These little ridges kind of slow it down, make it bounce around. This one is not finished. I'm going to keep working on it, but I just want you to know that there's so many things you can do. That big blue piece I showed you how to make in the beginning, I cut that and put another piece over here, and I've glued things to the, or not glued, but taped things to the side, and so it's just so much fun. There's a lot of ways you can do the same thing. Here's another one I made recently. I just wanted to show you how they're similar, but they're different. So you can just have a ball with it, guys. Just do as much as possible. Every time you do these, they're going to be a little bit different, and I hope that you will try it out. All right, friends, hope you enjoyed it. I know I did. I'll see you next time.